the energy in this world right now. We're all so sensitive. We're all so angry with it. I mean, I can say the slightest thing to somebody and they're set off, bro.
They're triggered.
Yeah, they're triggered.
Yeah.
We made a word for it.
There's a word.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Triggered. Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Empire, where we like to engage with everyone from pastors to actors, rappers to trappers, and everybody in between. And if you guys didn't know what, we have another great guest. But before we get into it, y'all should know the deal. But if you don't, let me help you along the way. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're having great times out here doing great work, and we appreciate everyone's support and help, and liking the video and subscribing to the channel is very easy to do if you guys want. If you guys didn't know, my name's Antonio the Miles, your host. And if you guys want to help support and other things like cash backs and all that things, digital ways, you can do our CASHAPP and VENMO. All the links are in the description, which you guys can find. But let's get right into our amazing guest. I did that for editing purposes. It's gonna be like, anyway, lovely gentleman out here, a fan and a man, part of the nerds and hip hop culture, one could say. And let's just say he's the founder of the brand called Nerdz and Hip Hop, and his name is Joshua Brown.
Joshua Brown, that is correct.
Welcome to the Empire, Josh.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Man, so glad to have you, bro. How's your day been?
My day's been amazing, man. My day's been super amazing. Like I said, I'm always working on something, heading toward building up the culture and building up what I'm trying to do. And so every day is a new journey, I would say.
Gotcha. Yeah, every day.
Same in the journey, just another day in the journey. So
I like that, another day in the journey.
Yeah.
I like that. What character do you have on your shirt right there? I know it's from. Wait. I was gonna totally say Inuyasha, which is way off. Forgive me. God, is right there. Is it Naruto?
yes, it is.
Gotcha.
Man, it is. I love the accent you put on it.
I did low key.
Naruto.
Some people say different ways. Some people say like Naruto, and some people say different ways, right?
Yeah, it gets kind of like, of course, some people like to do like the proper maybe Japanese way of saying certain things and all that stuff like that. Me personally, I just say it as it rolls off.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody was asking me the other day, it was like Akatsuki. Is it Akatsuki? And like the way that they said it was like Akatsuke. And I was just like, I just say Akatsuki, man. Like, but anyway, the character is Itachi from Naruto. So
Gotcha. Is that your favorite character from the anime?
not my favorite character from the anime. My favorite character from Naruto is on my shoe. It says Kakashi Sensei. That's my guy. That's my dude. Yeah, he's dude's, brilliant, bro. Just a brilliant ninja. So
Gotcha. Isn't I heard like it's got like 400 episodes or some crazy number like that?
Naruto's up there. There's got some filler episodes, and then you got like Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, all that stuff like that. It's not as big as like One Piece. One Piece got like 1.5 million episodes starting from number one. Like,
no way.
I like 1,000. I'm over exaggerating.
Okay.
But it's got a lot. It's got a lot.
Got you. What'd you think about the live action? Have you watched it on Netflix?
Oh yeah, I watched the live action.
What'd you think about it?
I thought it was awesome because the thing is, I've never been much of a like One Piece fan for the original show or manga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it felt like daunting. It was like it's like a task. It's like homework assignment, like to watch that much, because I'm from like old school, like, Dragon Ball was my favorite. So
of course.
The thing is that, but watching the One Piece show on Netflix kind of caught me up to speed and made me feel a little bit more like, oh, I really do like this.
Yeah.
So then I started watching the anime, and I still fell victim to how many episodes it was. I was like, I can't do it.
I can't commit.
I can't commit.
I can't commit.
It's too much.
It's like you want me to marry you, but I just can't. I'm sorry, babe.
Yeah.
I'll do your lesser sister over here on the side. Because I never really got into One Piece for whatever reason, but I watched the live action and I was like, you know what? I can dig this.
Yeah, it's dope.
You know what I mean? Did you watch the Cowboy Bebop live action on Netflix?
I did.
What was your thoughts on that one?
That one a little different. I like, it's of course, I could say I love the anime so much more. But I did love the anime so much more because it was just like there was a super vibe to Cowboy Bebop. It was just like so chill. So like sometimes I would watch Cowboy Bebop as I'm like laying down getting ready to go to sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just so jazzy, bro. It's so jazzy. Like, I love it. But the thing is that the anime itself, I like the actors they had in it. I would like to have seen them be able to do a season 2 to get a little bit more acclimated to the characters and all that.
Okay.
I feel like it got pulled a little too fast and canceled. But
it got canceled?
Oh yeah, they're not coming back for season 2. But
No way.
Nope. It's like, yeah, empty your lockers and I'm gonna see y'all later. Yeah.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I wonder why they canceled it. I thought it was pretty. I didn't think it was that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but not enough viewership, not enough fan praise. You know what I mean? Like Netflix has a total huge whopping amount of new anime coming, and then adaptations from old anime to live action. So they really don't need you to basically they would love, I'm sure as a company, they would love for all their shows to just boom, blow up like One Piece did. And everybody's like, it's great. But if it doesn't, it's like, so what? Move around, move to the side. We got some more stuff coming.
We've got I hope they do a live action of Demon Slayer. That would be, if they did it right, I think it would be nice.
Yeah, we're some years off of that. I think like they're still letting the fandom like build. Although it's crazy, the fandom for Demon Slayer is crazy, and it happened like I don't know where, but
true.
It's I do too because it's epic. Like it really is epic. I just want them. Also, as a fan of it, I would love for them to take their time because what we don't want is how they did the live action Dragon Ball ever again in life. If you do something like that, just know that the anime fans ain't with you, bro. You're gonna be just hoping that people on Friday night want to come see that film because people from the anime, community will be like, nah, bro, because that was terribly done. Terribly done.
That's probably like people's like frame of reference. Like, let's not make a film like this.
Yeah, that should be.
That's probably their reference.
Move up from there. Like,
yeah,
in all ways.
And the crazy thing is, like, I've seen like some fan-made Dragon Ball that actually look really good.
Yeah.
You know, and so it'd be nice if someone would. But I guess it's like such a how do you say it's? I guess it's like we can probably say like the top anime in the world. Or like everyone knows Dragon Ball, so it's like if you're gonna touch it, like the expectation's probably super high.
No, definitely. It's the thing is though, fan made is always best, or somebody that's on your team that people listen to, like you know what I mean, whether it's a producer or whoever it is that people listen to. That have knowledge of it, or even if you got to, like, of course, you know, you've had to pay for the rights or whatever the case may be, or pay the person that originally made it, but get the person that originally made it involved or something, dude, because if you don't, like, you're really running the risk of just, like, you know, shitting on somebody's fandom, bro. Like, and that's the thing, like, you know what I mean? Because, what is it? Even, like, The Witcher, like, Henry Cavill, was a fan of the game. Like,
was
you know what I mean?
He really?
So,
wow.
Yeah, so it's dope when he was doing the character Gerald, you know what I'm saying? Because he's familiar and he's selling it like
great
cold.
job. Did a great job.
Like so
I heard he got fired from the role.
Yeah, honestly, he was.
Did you hear about that? They got like fired from the role?
I heard he was getting let go of that and several other things at the time. I was kind of like, yo, did he?
They getting blackballed?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, he must have pissed off the wrong person, bro.
Got you.
So
he didn't touch somebody. Someone wanted to touch him. And he was like, "Nah, I'm not."
Right, for real, right? No, I'm Superman. You can't touch me.
That part, can't touch this.
For real.
And he's such a great actor. I think he killed that role. Like, interesting.
He's dope, bro. Like, honestly, like, you know what I mean? I wasn't sure if I was gonna like him as Superman when I first seen that when Man of Steel came out. Then I seen it and I was like, bravo, he killed that.
Facts.
Like, you know, because I remember him from that movie. What was it? Not the was it? Yeah, it's Immortals, or whatever like that. And it was like, you know, one of those ancient Greek mythology type movies and everything. He was mad skinnier, like, you know what I mean? But when he got like Superman, he got like in the gym, like, he got beefed up, and he ain't never came back since. He's
low
still
key,
just like, you know what I mean? He's still swole.
That's what's so dope about, like, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, you're good.
What's so dope about, like, if you're like an actor or something like that, you get to like train with like the most high level of training.
Yeah.
Like, And you get paid for it? Like,
For real, bro. Like,
can you imagine? Like, I just want to get ripped. Okay, I will pay you to get ripped.
yeah, and it's like, bro, like, I mean, we don't get to see the full process, but it's like it happens overnight. Because I remember, like, Johnathan Majors was like small, bro. I remember he was like a little dude, and it was like he was in that one of Chadwick Boseman's last films, which was on Netflix, The Blerds or something.
Okay,
like that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that was the first time I seen Johnathan Majors, and even though he was like just regular sized dude, and then you get toward Creed, he's beyond humanly cut and big, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, yeah, you gotta have like tip top, like the best person working at LA Fitness.
LA
Like, you know what I'm
Fitness.
saying? Like that's your personal trainer is Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, bro. Like
That part.
You know what I mean? With I don't even know, whoever is just another swole dude. I don't care.
Facts.
Like you had to have it because I'm like, dang, bro.
Gotcha.
Like you got big quick.
True. Since we're on Johnathan Majors, so let's talk about him. You know, obviously there's some. I personally think it's BS that he's going through right now, and I think they've improved that's BS that he's going through. But let's get to the good part about Johnathan Majors. What's your thoughts on him about him being king, and do you think they'll keep him as being king?
I like him being king. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of people that really like his performance.
Yeah.
And you know, like it's we live in an age where a lot of people get in a lot of legal trouble. A lot of people, like, you know what I mean, they say the wrong things, and I feel like as fans of movies and video games and whatever else is entertainment, we really need to learn how to separate the entertainer from what we like to be entertained by. And I'm not saying like, yo, if this person is like massacring children, we should be like, put that aside and this, that, there. But I feel
Charles
like
Manson this, but we're cool.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like we're too invested before the verdict, honestly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Caught on the hype.
Yeah, because it's like, because you could very literally have somebody like be acquitted of a crime or be found not guilty, but you still have this feeling on them that people tend to not let go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could get taboo right quick and say a little something like, you know, like as far as Michael Jackson now, as people believe or not believe he was, you know, what would you say, guilty of the allegations?
Yeah.
He got found not guilty, but that allegation looms over his career even into death. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, people are still falsely accusing him, even though even the people that accused him, they even said like, yeah, my parents told me to say this and do this to get the money from Michael.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and my thing is, do I know for a fact if he's guilty or not guilty? I don't know, dude. I don't know him, and I wasn't there. But at the same time, I feel like when we as people that are onlookers invest too much feeling in somebody's personal matters, you could either get your heart broken or really have egg on your face when you're sitting there, oh, he's acquitted, and you're still trying to stay in your feeling because you spent too much energy on it. Like, you done told everybody in your friend group, like, he's a molester, and you know, or whoever it is.
Got you.
And yeah, you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it gets a little over in excess, I feel like, with the whole our involvement in the personal affairs of celebrities in general. Yeah.
And then and a lot of things can be like misconstrued a certain way because the media has ways to like, you know, make you think a certain way about a certain action and things like that, which is powerful. Media is powerful. You're on media right now.
I know, right?
Yeah. Right. But we're not here to show people, and we're not here to make people look ugly. That's not our thing, you know. We're here to beautify people, you know what I mean? Speaking of which, Josh, for people who may not know who you are and what you do, can you please tell us all who you are and what you do?
Okay. You guys don't have enough tape for this. No, I'm just kidding. Like I said, I'm Joshua Brown. Out here in the Inland Empire, I've created a community called Nerdz Hip Hop. Now, Nerdz Hip Hop is bridging the gap between two of the biggest cultures in the world, which is nerd culture and hip hop culture. The reason I'm doing this is because I have a little bit of background, or a lot of bit of background, in both nerd and hip hop culture. But it also shows the duality that's within us to be entrepreneurs, to be the greatest person that you can be, functioning within your purpose. Because within your purpose is individuality, and Nerdz Hip Hop is all about finding your individuality, loving it, loving your purpose, loving who you are, and finding a path in that. Like, you know what I mean? So we showcase and broadcast on our channel all sorts of people from all walks of life that are within the nerd and hip hop culture, so that, you know, it's just sometimes these people go unseen or under the radar because they're afraid or shy that their talent isn't something that, you know, people would love, and we showcase that. Besides that, I'm also the writer creator of General Joshua. Now, with General Joshua, that is a comic book, and I tell everybody it's pretty much like the Book of Eli meets the show Supernatural, but the fact is that Joshua is destined to be the last general of the last army on Earth going against the New World Order. And it's also a lot about purpose and finding your purpose amongst the chaos and succeeding in it. You know what I mean? Something that you never thought possible happening to you, and then you find a way to become the champion of your own life. So, yeah, mouthful, right?
Yeah, I love it. No, I love it. I got two things, right? So the first thing is how did you, and we'll probably get into this, how did you find your purpose in this? And the other question is I think you mentioned some people are kind of scared to show their talents in this culture.
Yeah.
Can you give us some examples of those things that people are kind of scared to show?
Okay. Well, let's go first with what was the first half of that?
The purpose of this being your purpose, the nerds and culture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is just like other people, I was shy on my purpose. Like, okay, I started out, you know, as an MC. You know what I mean? Well, let's jump back before that. I was into arts. I had like a bunch of classes in high school that were like advanced art classes, all that stuff like that, 3D animation. And I utilized my talents as writing abilities and everything that I also had, and I like started just using it to rap. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was rapping, became a rapper. I was signed to a lesser known label for a bit, and that's what I decided to move forward in. But sometime later in that time of later in my life, I was kind of like just vexed with the whole rap politic game and all this stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I decided to use my talents to do more writing. And then all of a sudden, my creative writing path went into creating a comic. And, at the time, I was like, 30, and I was like, nobody wants a comic from me, man. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to see it. Like, because I told myself, and cultures told me around me that, you know what I mean? Like you doing a comic, like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of goes into the second question you had. It was a decision to me to say, look, this is what I want to do. I feel like I'm led to do it, and I feel like I have something good here that people will really enjoy, and I enjoy doing, and I'm gonna bring it out to the masses. I don't care what anybody. I don't care if my friend groups or like people that are in my immediate Rolodex in my phone don't like it. I feel like I got a responsibility within myself, who I am myself, to go ahead and put something out that I really feel is worthy. And that's kind of what I like to help other people do, is just kind of help develop the courage to, yo, man, I don't care if your mom doesn't like it. I don't care if, your friend group doesn't like it, man. If you really feel passionate about this, you feel like God inspired, like, you know what I mean? Like God just dropped this on you and you want to get it out there, go do it. Like, do it, man. Like, you know what I mean? Don't wait on everybody to like praise it. Cause a lot of people won't praise it until you make that vision a reality.
Yeah.
They're not gonna praise the vision. They weren't given the vision, you were.
Period.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't wait on people to praise your vision, man, while you're trying to build it. You gotta just build it.
You got to believe in yourself.
Yeah. Noah's Ark, that bad boy.
That
right
part.
in front of everybody.
Gotcha. I got two other things. So can you give me an example of some people that you saw that were creative in the space, but they were too shy? Like, can you give us an example of some other people?
Oh yeah, I actually I met a young artist, several. I meet young artists all the time, and and in talks with this person, they wanted to. They were artists, like, you know what I mean, and they like, like pen, pencil, da 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 da. Like, you know what I mean? That type of thing. I had to clarify because, you know, it could have been like painting. But they were an artist and they were like, you know, they wanted to get their stuff out there, but they didn't want the criticism. Like, they was like, what do you do about the criticism? And I was like, take it. There's no two ways about that. Like, and you want to, you honestly, like, at the beginning stages, you got kind of like a pillow-esque version of getting criticism. What I mean by that is that, you know, your first form of critics will most likely be family and friends. And a lot of time, family and friends, and I mean, my family is kind of straight shooters. So this was a little bit opposite for me.
Shoot from the hip?
Yeah, they're going to tell you if something, they don't like something. So, but, you know, that's since I was a kid. But some people have parents and friends that are more like, I'm worried about your feelings. So, hey, it's great. It's amazing. Da, 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 da. Keep going and put it out there and everything like that. And you don't get a real firm grasp on what people truly think about your work, you know? And, which is, like I said, it's okay with some, because sometimes it's 100% correct. It was great, you know, and it'll definitely be great to you. But at the same time, you know, the better you put yourself out there. I mean, the quicker you put yourself out there, it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. It's out there now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, give me the worst you could say. I don't care, because some things you could take and make your stuff better with, and some things you got to understand where that's coming from. Like, there's a lot of people that just like to say mean things on the internet.
True, yeah.
There's people that really get off on being an asshole.
That's
like, you
just
know what I mean?
thing, yeah.
So you gotta learn how to swim with that, because if you never get in the water and realize the water is cold, if you never get in the water and realize it's deeper than you thought, if you never get in the water and know that there's sharks, but there's also dolphins, there's also like fish that'll eat you and fish that you can eat, like you'll be lost. Yeah, you'll be lost out here. Like, you know what I mean? So you gotta get in the course, come get involved, so you see all that there is to it. Like, you know, and develop thick skin with some of this, because if you really are passionate about what you're doing, you got to take the good with the bad. It's not going to be all good all the time. That's not how the world's made up.
It ain't going to be all rainbows and sunshine.
No, not at
Big
all.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to ask it. What's one thing that you didn't like about the politics of rap and being a hip hop?
Oh, I couldn't stand the fact that, you know, the main way, like you know, the producers or whoever else is in charge of you, like we can get into their technical names, like, you know, the main way that they're gonna back you is if you're a sure bet, and that means that whoever's popular at the time, whether it be a Drake, whether it be a Cardi B, or whether they want you to damn near emulate that, to make sure that whatever bucks they spend on you, they're getting back times triple, double, whatever the case may be. They might make you tweak your music to fit what they want. And the thing is that you come in the game like, well, I thought you wanted me because you based the fact that you came after me on my talent.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me to change my talent so that it fits some sort of narrative that you want. And then if I fail, it's my fault too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? How does that work?
It's
like
double fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's so, that's what made me, like, I would say, more feel better about, like, when I wrote a comic, is because I get to create that bad boy and I get to control the narrative. There's nothing that somebody can do to take my stuff and say, hey, we want it to be a little more like this. Oh, that's cool. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get away from me.
Deuces.
Yeah, get away from me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's something that I can control and push out there, like, you know what I mean? And I'm very proud of it. Very proud of it.
Yeah. And we're going to get into that, folks. You know, it's I was thinking this today when I was on my walk, and you said you're in control of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that it's like, you know, in order to be free, or what it means to be free is you're in control of your life. So being in control makes you free.
In a sense.
Well, think about it.
I definitely do. I definitely think about it all the time. Now, there's this form of control. Like, I do like to relinquish a bit of control when it comes to overall creating. Like, I like to, like, get lost in it a little bit, so it doesn't, like, with control is a very slippery slope. It can be very, very helpful, But then again, sometimes if you do it in over excess or feel you need it in over excess, it allows you a prison where you don't change. You know what I mean? So I always want to be in control, but just a little bit off, just so that I can, grow. But like, I just don't want people that just, really sink their teeth in all that stuff and like, no, do this, change this, move that, da, da, da. And it's like, come on, bro. It's not even the same thing anymore.
Got you.
You know?
And I guess I was meaning control in the sense of like equaling freedom in the sense like, okay, like for the general Joshua book, right? Like you're in control of how you want it to look. And by being in control, you're free to go in the direction you want to go to.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I meant about control and freedom.
Definitely.
Equaling it.
We're on the same page there.
Yeah. So Josh, can you give us a brief, as you possibly can, a brief story about, I guess a good way to say it for a person who's in an anime, origin story of where you grew up, how you grew up, all the way up to where you are today, as brief as you possibly can give us.
Okay, cool. It all started on a rainy night in 1984 where, no, I'm just kidding.
What city were we in? What city were we in?
Yeah. I actually, I was born and raised for the most part in Los Angeles. And like I said, born in 1984. Grew up in Los Angeles till I was about 16. And then we made a move to Moreno Valley. Yeah, and basically throughout that time, just kind of as a 80s baby, mid 80s baby, and the product of the 90s is when I was doing like most of my turning into adolescence and all that stuff like that. That time frame, especially in Los Angeles, was very heavily earthed by like gang culture and all that stuff like that. So when I wasn't trying, like for a while, it was I was met with I'd say a duality of who I was and what I had to be to survive. And I know some people be like, yo, survive, like, you know what I mean? Like it sounds grim, but it's a truth and reality that some people don't understand because they never lived that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's a thing to where I am who I am, very loving child. My mother and father are very loving and everything like that. But, where your environment becomes very
Hostile?
Hostile, and it's just like, you see what's going on and you're trying to find your way to best fit in and also best live without being challenged with your life, like, you know what I mean? So I went from being, yes, definitely. I went from being kind of like really like a sweet kid to kind of like, a little bit more hard, made myself a little bit harder so that I can be aware and strong enough to weather the storm, I guess to say. Like, I mean, when we moved out here, it was a different eye opener because it was like, less. It was less, some people say like Moreno Valley is super duper violent. I mean, it has its ways. Like, I feel like you can find trouble if you want to.
Yeah, if you're looking for it, you can find it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But otherwise than that, it was very, I learned I grew to become a man out here, man. Like, and I had some good friends, my boys that, some older, some my age that, I really got to learn a brotherhood and really like got to meet some really dope people out this way, man. And I will never leave. Moreno Valley is that's my spot.
That's your home?
I really love Mo Val, man. Like, yeah, like that's what I rep. I rep that way more than I do like Los Angeles and all that, because it's just, I feel like I became a man in Moreno Valley.
Gotcha, it's home.
Yeah.
You want to give a shout out to some of those big brothers and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Real quick, man. My man Stretch, Marcus, you know what I'm saying? Boy, Marcus Moody, Marcus Black. You know what I mean? Man, the list goes on. Frankie D. Who else, man? It's a team of us, man. It's a team of us, man. My boy Daryl, Snook. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that.
Yeah, if you didn't say your names, that don't mean he still got love for you. Just remember that.
100%, man.
Got you. So yeah, guide us, man. Guide us a little bit more into like how you got into where we are today. Keep guiding us on. So Mo Val grew up, brotherhood.
Well,
Mo Val
is where I started the rap career and everything like that. Of like in high school, I won this Power 106 battle of freestyling. So I was always on my freestyle. That was my main thing. That journey with that, you know what I mean, is rap was a big part of when I first came out here. So I was always freestyling at the lunch tables, all that stuff, and that's how I found some of my boys, like my boy Marcus, man. Like that's how me and him jailed is you know what I mean, me, him, Rockman, like, you know what I mean, cats just rapping, bro, like always rapping, just like backpack rappers, bro, just like you always catch a
Oh
spit,
man, I
like,
haven't heard that term in a while. Backpack rappers.
yeah, dude,
Man.
like literally just walking around with a backpack on, going from class to class, but always rapping.
That was the thing, man, back in the day, just like a backpack and just a rapping. Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah, we
Like
went.
we're going to a show, got our backpacks on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I used to literally perform with my backpack
On.
Yeah, because my alias at the time was Poindexter. Like, you know what I
Okay,
mean? So,
cool.
smarter than your average nigga. That's what I.
Got
that
you.
was kind of my little thing.
That makes me think of Dexter. That's what it makes me
So
think.
Dexter's Labrador.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what it makes me think of.
Dee Dee?
Yeah.
No, yeah, man. That was the thing, and so that was the earlier part, and that's what kind of spawned the whole hip hop side of my Nerds and Hip Hop. Like, I was the kid that, you know, I was a gamer, but at the same time I always had my headphones on listening to, like, from Eminem, Cannabis, Pheromone, like, you know what I'm saying, Method Man, Redman, Game,
The Blackout album?
bro, everything.
Got you.
I was just like, I was fully consumed in hip hop. Like, I loved it. Like, you know, it was like, of course, I love my art and I love writing, but hip hop was like, just, dude, it was like, what would you say? It's like say you love a woman that you're with and she's dope, but when hip hop hit me, bro, it was like the baddest chick that you ever see walking, and you was just like, and she's staring at you like, hey, and she's trying to talk, and you, like, I was just entranced, bro, in love. And I always kind of refer to hip hop as a stance as it is now for me, is like kind of like the one that got away, like, you know what I mean, because I don't really fully do it anymore, but you see, I couldn't stay away because it's still within what I do, you know. So yeah,
so she's still kind of close.
Definitely, definitely. Does that kind of explain the question? I want to make sure I'm
Yeah,
in
no,
there.
we're still there.
Okay, yeah.
Because we haven't even gotten to the part where Nerds and Hip Hop decides to become a brand and create it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
lead us into that. You know, you're in love with hip hop, you're pursuing it, you're rapping with your backpacks. So continue us on our journey.
Okay, cool. So what happened with that is that, you know, throughout the rap journey that I had, like I said, I mentioned that I got signed to a lower label. At the time, it was called Spin Cow, and I remember, you know, Christina Milian was on here, and
Oh, wow.
Cisco was supposed to be on it. Actually met him at a party or whatever.
This is during the
Thong
Thong
Song
days?
guy. Thong Song.
Wow.
Like a little after the Thong Song, like when, like, you know, it was going a little further past that, and, you know, it was like at that time there was a lot of merger labels and stuff like that because of how the game was going. I forget, it was like some sort of collapse or something. I believe like even Alicia Keys was gonna end up probably being on the label that we were on.
Okay.
You know, so
Wow.
so I rapped enough to get to that level where I was signed, but the album, the mixtapes that we were making, they were kind of just like not producing it. They were like, we were like, yo, what's up? Y'all said that we was gonna do this and that. And that's when I started learning about the politics of it. Like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, as a kid, as a youngster, you just like, you heard getting signed was that thing. That was that man, you signed, bro. You in there now, like, you know. And that's what I thought I had to achieve to have made my dream. But that was just the beginning. It was just the beginning of what I decided was not good enough for me, you know. So
How old were you?
I was only about 22 years old when
Okay.
that happened. Yeah, so I had a lot to learn. Definitely. But the thing was with that is that after being signed for a bit, I and nothing moving, I decided that I wanted to create my own album. So I went ahead and got this job. I went ahead and got this job that was making okay money at the time. I was working at an ice plant, whatever. And because, you know, now at this point, like, it's just, like survival. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm signed, but they're not doing nothing. So they definitely not kicking me bread. So they gave me a really nice designer jacket with my rap name on it. Great. But that was it. But so basically, like I said, at that time, I was kind of just like, okay, got this job, and I made an album myself called The Assignment. Like, you know what I mean? I went in the studio, paid for my own studio time, paid to push out enough CDs at the time, you know what I mean? And I just went around my immediate surroundings in the Inland Empire, like, you know what I mean, and just passed out the CD myself for free. I was like, I just want people to know that I can rap. Like, you know what I mean? And just did that. And that created some opportunities and everything like that. But it was just like, it still wasn't enough for me. And, life start doing certain things, man. And finding myself in bad spaces just because, like, I felt like I was losing the level of my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, it was slowly but surely being pulled away from me, I felt like, and I was just kind of like, while life was still going, so I actually kind of just stepped back from it and utilized my talents in writing. I went back to school to learn how to be a screenplay writer, like, how to learn how to do screenplays.
Was that college?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So RCC, like, you know what I mean? And they had some courses, and I took that, and I ran with it, and then I started writing screenplays for people that couldn't write screenplays. Started writing screenplays for people that were making short films or revamping their screenplays, making it better and more correct form for their actors and actresses, and getting paid for that for a little bit.
Cool.
And yeah, it was straight. It was straight. Like I said, again, though, it was kind of like somebody else's narrative, what they wanted, and everything like that. And then, of course, I had a few of my own screenplays that I was trying to shop and learn how to shop those. And it was kind of going nowhere that I wanted. Like, it still wasn't good enough. And then one day my wife was just like, why don't you write an ebook? And I was like, ebook? Like, and so, yeah, in between there, I got a wife.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, oh,
yeah.
She got away. I got a wife.
Yeah. I got a wife. So, the gist of it was that, like, you know what I mean? We could journey back around to that if you want to. But my wife at the time was just like, yo, you should write an ebook. And somehow or another, I feel like God downloaded to me, like, you're going to write a book, but it's not going to be an ebook. And it was a comic book. Like, I was like, yo, I took some of it was a screenplay that I was writing, and I took some of the points and the PowerPoints from that screenplay and started constructing what would be General Joshua. And I didn't know, I read comics all coming up, like super nerd, but at the same time, I didn't know how to do it or how the business really worked. So I had to educate myself, and I bought books. I watched all sorts of YouTube videos. I just submerged myself in what it would be to be a comic creator and how I would be different. And 4 years later, General Joshua was created.
Gotcha. And then how does the jump from that to Nerdz and Hip Hop come about?
Okay, so the thing with that is that part of the fact of me creating a comic, and I would tell anybody who is creating anything, is you have to find your tribe. Like, you know what I mean? Who are you going to sell to? Who's your demographic? Like, you know what I mean? Who would like what you like as much as you like it? That's the thing. And so what I did was I created a page for General Joshua. And so I'm just doing artwork, and the people that were liking it or, following my page, I also seen in their bio, a lot of times it was saying, I love hip hop and I love comics. I love hip hop and I love gaming. I was like, yo, me too. Like, you know what I mean? But at this point, hip hop had nothing to do with General Joshua. It was like
two separate things.
Yeah, it was like my knowledge of hip hop. The only thing that had to do with hip hop and General Joshua was the fact of my knowledge of writing and storytelling. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing that is was synced together. But like just seeing that on their page, like I love hip hop, I love it. It's just like, yo, I love hip hop too.
Yeah.
And then it was just like I started, seeing their pages, and I was like, yo, this is interesting. Like you would have some people like draw Tupac, but in a superhero, like a Superman outfit. Like, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
So kind of putting the worlds together. I was like, that's lit. I love that. That's so dope. Like, you know what I mean? And, I would see other people doing an anime like video, but it's all rap. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, so it's an AMV. And I didn't even know it was, I was like, that's a thing. And then I started seeing there was a thing called
What's AMV for people who may not know?
An animated music video.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's like, they have that, and there was people doing them like gaming music videos, all kind of stuff, dude. And I was like, yo, this is so dope. And so I decided to make a second page besides my General Joshua page. I made a second page, and well, at the time, my homegirl Privilege, she made it. She made the page, whatever, because we was talking about this. I said, I'm gonna make a page. I wanted, like, she was like, yo, like, let me add some flavor to that. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, cool. So she, like, kind of helped me construct some of the things that I would need to make a page. Of course, sometimes you'll make a page and it doesn't make any sense. So I made this page, and then I just start posting all the stuff that I liked within the culture of nerd and hip hop culture. And like before I knew it, like a lot of people started following it. The pandemic happened during that time, so 2020 hit, and everybody's indoors doing stuff. And so it just made me push more into the nerds and hip hop thing. And at this time, mind you, General Joshua wasn't a finished comic yet. Like, you know what I mean? So I was also building this fan base, like, you know what I mean, for it. And, I would throw into my posting on there, sometimes like just little panels of my comic, and, you know what I mean, tell people it's coming. But I just started falling in love a lot with this community, because it was just more and more people that I seen that like they had their comics, and their comics was so dope. And they had like, cosplayers that are like, gender bending, and making like Black Gambit, and like, you know what I'm saying,
out of
like
control stuff.
It was just like, whoa. And then I met people that were associated with blurred groups and everything like that, and I didn't even know what that was, because I'm a Cali dude, and that's kind of like an East Coast thing that came this way.
It is an East Coast thing, huh?
It's more of an East Coast thing that's coming.
That term, right? The blurred term?
Yeah, it's definitely used out that way more. Like, you know what I mean? And I was just like, yo, this stuff exists? I was like, this is so dope. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just, I learned so much. And then I learned what nerdcore rap was. And I was like, and for anybody that doesn't know what nerdcore rap is, it's like your subject matter as a rapper is anime, gaming, comics, all of that stuff. And it's insanely good. Like, I was just like, God, I was like, I think I found my tribe.
That part,
I found my tribe.
Little tear.
You know what I mean? So it was awesome. Just awesome. So, and that started the framework of what was Nerds and Hip Hop. Dude, I did nerdcore mixtapes.
Dope.
Yeah, just started delving into the culture, and like giving the culture what they wanted from us, because I've never been in a position of leadership fully in my life with things, like, you know what I mean? And people started really looking at us like, yo, what do you think, Nerds and Hip Hop? Or, yo, can you come on my podcast, or this, that, and the third? And I was just like, huh? Like, I just was dude with a page. Like, I literally at the time didn't even show myself that much. I didn't even like take a whole lot of pictures of me. It wasn't like a bunch of selfies like, yo, we're Nerds and Hip Hop. Like, nah, it was just the culture. It was just the stuff. Like, it was the things that I seen that I love. And then when people would comment, oh, dude, let's have a talk. Let's chop it up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, well, I don't like this. Or why don't you like it? You know what I mean? Because I'm not the type of person that's easily offended when people say stuff or ask me stuff, or, kind of come at you like a dick. I'm a bit of a like, you know, my brother was always like damn near a comedian, so like I had to be a little bit quick-witted or quick on my toes.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
I got you.
Yeah.
He like basically sparring with wit.
Yeah,
Low
definitely. And then where I grew up, of course, like, you know what I mean? It was a lot of like, you know, you got to be responsive. You got to be like, you know what I mean? You don't want to be too timid. Like, you know what I mean? So I really... I don't shy away from that type of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I might have a teaching moment, but like I said, I hold a presence on the page. Like, if you're like doing too much cussing or you're just saying negative stuff to somebody that I posted because you think that they'll see it, you know, like, it's like I said, I repost a lot of people's stuff, and some people take that as a time to take a shot at that person. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get out of here with that. If you do it again, I will block you.
You will get blocked.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you come at me with it, I might be like, all right, so why do you feel that way?
That part.
Explain yourself. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, sometimes people, like, you know what I mean? They crack under the pressure, bro. Because you didn't expect nobody to say nothing to you.
To put you in check.
Yeah. Well, just challenge you on what your belief was.
On your bullshit.
You said it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't say it, you did. Like, you know what I mean? Explain yourself.
You just want to talk just to talk.
Yeah. Like, how does that make you mad? I told you to explain yourself. Like,
That
you know
part.
what I mean?
I just want to talk.
Yeah,
I just want to be heard. No one listens to me at home.
Exactly. Dude.
You know, there's two posts that I really liked that I'm not sure how, it was not, I guess more recent than some of your posts. One of them was like an action figure. Like, guy uses these action figures and he like makes these things out of them. Like, I saw like the Spider-Man one that he did. I think he did a One Piece one. It was super dope, this guy. And then you posted these two guys who were in cosplay, and there's like 3 pillars in the background, and the guy was in the front with the sword, and the guy's jumping from one pillar to the one, and then in slow motion he jumps off, and the guy does a backflip on the bottom, and they both land at the same time.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That one was dope. I was like, oh shit. I was like, was that real? And I was like, yep. I double checked both pages. I was like, yeah, they really did that.
Bro, that in essence is what I love about doing Nerdz Hip Hop, is because it's literally stuff that I'm like, you know, I'm on social media and I'm like, yo, what the hell was that? I'm like, that's too dope.
Yeah.
Yo, did you guys see this? Like, you know, because it's the page itself and the community itself is kind of reminiscent to when you were a kid at school. You might ask your friends, yo, did you see the new Power Rangers or whatever? Or like, did you see this? Or did you see that? Like, it was insane, right? Like, you know what I mean? And you guys have a talk about it. That's pretty much what Nerdz Hip Hop is. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's like that. It's sharing and vibing. Like, you know what I mean? If I listen to a new album, I'll say something about that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like, it might be in stories or it might be in what's the name? Like, and it's just like fun, and it brings so many people together. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, the Black and Latino community, you know what I mean? White people, whoever. If you resonate with nerd culture or hip hop culture, you might like something on my page.
Period.
Now, the thing is that, you know, Black culture within nerd culture, you know, I feel like, and we've spoke a little bit before. It's like, I feel like there's a distance and sometimes a shyness, like Black people don't do this. Yeah, we do. Like, we love it. Like, you know what I mean? And if you love it, you don't have to be afraid to love it outwardly. Like,
or be ashamed.
I mean? Yeah, be ashamed. Yeah. So it's like I show a lot of love to Black people on there that's in the nerd space, because I need y'all to know it's okay. You're good. Like, you know what I mean? And you might have trollers. Well, Goku isn't Black, and who cares? Goku's an alien. Like, so it's like, you know, like I said, like, and that's my thing. Is like I try to give trolls no power.
Got you. Piccolo's Black though.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, bro, definitely.
I always thought Piccolo could be played by Wesley Snipes.
I get where you're going with that. Maybe Michael Jai White. Like,
okay.
That bigness and then the voice.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, man. Like I said, I definitely want people to know that. Like, you know, trolls are children, dude. Like, don't even worry about that. But at the same time, it's like, don't let what people say or other people in your friend group that, you know, maybe like, oh man, I ain't on that nerd stuff. So what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I challenge my boy. Like, and I've always been like that. That's why people be like, oh, I was bullied for my nerdum. I mean, people tried it with me, but it didn't work. Like, because it was just like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, be like, oh, well, you a nerd then. Okay, catch these hands. See how nerdy that is.
That part.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, whatever. Like, they didn't know where to put me. No one knows where to put you sometimes. And live in that space. Don't worry about it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what you want to do, what you love, push in that. Like, you know, and I'm a firm believer in that because it's in those times where, let's say you got in trouble, let's say you go to jail, or you this, that, and third, you're by yourself anyway. You're by yourself, alone in your decision. So
You're gonna die alone.
you know? So it's like, why are you living your life for somebody else and what they might feel or say about you? Like, I had to challenge a homie one time because he was like, man, you like video games still, man? You like 30 years old. I was like, you play dominoes, right? Yeah. It's a game, bro. Mine's just audio visual.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I play dominoes too. I play dominoes. I play chess. And I played God of War, bro. Like, you know what I mean? That's it's all pastimes. You watch sports, I might watch an anime. It's a pastime.
Yeah.
You not involved in that. You ain't making zero money. You making zero money from that. Like,
Now we can do the money part.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm saying you're not making
shots
anything.
fired. Bang, bang.
I mean, you got people that love teams like they're on them.
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean? And I don't disrespect that. That's cool for you. But, you know, to take shot at somebody else for loving what they love as passionately is always hypocrisy to me.
Yeah.
Like, you a hypocrite to me.
It makes me think of that Jay-Z line, what you eat don't make me shit.
Yeah.
So why you worried about me?
Yeah.
And it makes me think of another thing and I wasn't even thinking about this. So and correct me if I'm wrong, but you've turned your passion into something that can actually provide financially for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I want for everyone, bruh. Like, I part of what the other thing that we do with Nerdz and Hip Hop is, you know, now we do events once a month, you know what I mean? And I allow other people that have, like, I have a comic. I sell my comic there, you know what I mean? I allow other people that, you know, they might have a comic, they might have anime merch that they made themselves, clothing, game sellers, like all that stuff like that to exist in this space. You know, I allow them to come and they sell their stuff too because, like I said, I want to make sure that people like feel really empowered to jump out there with their ideas and gifts and monetize that, because I really truly believe, like, we always looking for world peace and this and that and the third. I really truly believe that if people operated more in their purpose, in the sense of their God-given passion, their purpose, if they operated more in that and had even a hobby or outlet that was something that they love, be a hell of a lot nicer people in this world, man. It's, you know what I mean? Because people are doing what they got to do all the time, but it's like, you know, when you really get down to it, if you're not doing something that you love in some way, bro, you become passionless. Like, you know what I mean? You hide in whatever identity is left in you, like, oh, well, you know, I'm just a you know, I just work here. I'm just a manager of this, and that's what I do.
Yeah.
And then I'm a dad full time, and just slowly, if you're not dreaming,
just like dying on the inside.
Dream, yeah, it's like, dude, like, and I'm not saying like, oh, your kids aren't your passion, or what you do isn't your passion. That might be your purpose, like what you work on or something like that. That might be your purpose. I don't want to take that from anybody, but if there's something that you love to do, or that you are in love with, that you have a passion to do, and you just say, I'm not gonna do it because that's just I'm good on it because I don't have the time. Know. Yeah, it's like, nah, bro, nah. Turn it around. You can make the time, like, period. Because if you watching, like, what you have to do is learn time management for sure. If you watching TV or you doing this, or you chilling and you watching the game or you this that, and the third, and that's certain times where you could be working on your craft. You got to learn how to split that. Maybe watch the game or whatever while you working on your craft. Like, but stop telling yourself you ain't got no time.
No,
because you definitely make time to do some of the stuff that you want to do, and then you don't see it as valuable enough for your time. You could say that.
Got you. You got to believe. You're not believing. You don't believe in yourself at that point. They're not believing enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you know? And that's a thing. That's a common
trait,
disease. Of not believing in yourself. Like, hell, I mean, I'm not perfect at it. I tell people all the time. It's like I focus and push every day to continue to believe in myself, because the world will tell you opposite. Like, you know what I mean? You might have a couple of bad results on a certain day and be like, well, see, gotta pack it up. That's why we're not. Nah.
I was telling this to a lady that I ran into because she was telling me all these issues that were happening in her life, and I know she was a Christian woman, and I was like, you can't spell testimony without test, right?
Wow. Church. I love it.
So you have to get tested by God in this world in order to give your testimony to go through it. You know what I mean? And you mentioned that you throw events at least once a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a certain first week of the month, second week of the month? Is there a specific thing?
Mostly last Fridays in the month.
Mostly last Fridays in the month?
Yeah.
Okay.
So probably January, we'll probably skip that month and then come right back into it.
In February?
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
go right back to it in February. But otherwise than that, yeah, that's pretty much what we do last Friday of the month.
What can people expect at the event? Usually
it's super dope vibe. It's it's family friendly. You can expect to see different vendors of different types. Like you might have somebody that sells a boom box that has like anime characters on it, or you might see somebody that has an independent comic in a clothing line with that. You might see people that have different type of anime merch, whether it be posable statues or figurines, or indoor I don't even know Dragon Ball beanies they sell, whatever. Like what I mean, it's kind of like it's all around, and we have different people that sign up every month, so there's no telling what you'll get there. But also we have DJs and everything that spin some really dope hip hop, and like I said, it's family friendly, so most of it is just like edited so that the kids could listen to and everything. And it's like like when I say family, like I love the fact that we see fathers and daughters there, mothers and sons, and it's like teenagers and stuff too. It's not like just small children. It's like teenagers being able to vibe with their parent, because what's dope about this generation right now, this time and day and age, hip hop is only about 50 years old. So if you have a parent that's like about 40 years old and they got a kid that's like 16, like literally, like you're kind of listening to the same things.
Yeah,
like
you
know what I'm
can,
saying?
you can.
A
Yep.
little bit, like you know what I mean. They might like old school rap a little bit, but the kid knows about it. And then you might have a father or mother that's a gamer and their kid's a gamer, like, or your father or mother that likes anime and their kid likes anime, so they're able to vibe with some of the same things together at this very time. Because me personally, I'm the youngest. My dad is like 76. My dad was never fully into what I was into, and a great father though, like amazing, like but it's that age gap that is a different generation. Like there was no such thing as a PlayStation or something. My dad was a kid when he was my age, so it's a disconnect. There was no such thing as rap when my dad was my age. Like
you just play chess with pops.
Exactly, chess, checkers, dominoes, all that stuff. So it's a really dope time to be in this space and to like certain things, and I feel like we're connected. Whether you're black, white, Mexican, Asian, whoever, we're connected by the things that we love in this world.
Agreed.
Like, you know what I mean? So if you like anime, you like nerd culture, you like hip hop culture and nerd culture, dude, we could vibe on something. Like, you know what I mean?
And it's usually located in Moval, right?
Yes.
I think I saw a clip where people were playing video games at one of the events. Is that thing too?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing,
nice.
Man. My man from David's Game Lounge, man, he's got some dope stuff. Like, so he comes through and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you never expected becoming a leader, but through this platform, you've become more of a leader, right? Mm-hmm. Even to the point where you recently were a panelist at the LA Comic Con, correct?
Yes.
How was that, and what was your job as a panelist there?
It was very dope and interesting. Like it's like I said, when I first started Nerdz in hip hop, I was able to talk to a lot of different people that all of a sudden liked it, and they started just inviting me on podcasts, panels, and all kind of stuff. So I had some good practice before going there, like, you know what I mean? So that panel in itself was awesome because it was a panel on music and comics. And so I was able to talk about my comic, how music inspired my comic in certain ways, and just what is the future of music and comics, and just having a very, very good firm dialogue on that. And it was awesome because, some of the panelists are, people that have such credentials. Like, like one of them is a guy that hosts Black Comics Day in San Diego every year. And he's been a writer and a comic creator and artist for, 15 years or more, maybe 20 years. I don't know. But other guy sitting to my left is the guy that did the he's got a comic himself, but he did a lot of the storyboarding for I Am Legend.
Okay, wow.
For some other stuff, Constantine, the one with Keanu Reeves back a little while ago. So it's just amazing people all around me.
And so you said he did I Am Legend?
Yeah, I did I Am Legend, the storyboarding for that.
Wow.
It's it's a process of film creating and storyboarding, and through his work in storyboarding, like he really went into comics. So I'm like, that's awesome, man. So it's like some people,
I would think it would be the other way around. Like you start off with comics and then do storyboarding, not storyboard then comics. That's so interesting.
Well, the dopest thing about that is that to do storyboarding, you don't need any firm knowledge of comics. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just kind of, all you need to know is, like, how to, section it off, and this is what happens here, and the next, like, this action thing happens, this thing happens, and, being able to transfer that knowledge to somebody else, like, by them visually seeing it, like, oh, okay, I see how that's going, let's make it happen. Like, so,
yeah.
Because like I do for my comic, I do a lot of storyboarding and also panels and everything like that.
Okay.
But it's with a different knowledge because I know somebody's going to be an artist in this. So as a writer, I have to make sure that I'm in storyboarding or everything like that. I have to make sure that I'm leaving room for their creativity. It's like a tango, like it's like a dance, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, and being part of the hip hop nerd culture or I always think about cosplay. That's always so. Have you ever cosplayed? Which I'm assuming you probably have. And what are some of the favorite characters that you've cosplayed as?
I have cosplayed. I've cosplayed Miles Morales. Cause I'm the type of dude that love hoodies and high tops anyway.
Got you. Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Got
so
you.
it's like
got the hoodie and the high top on literally right now.
Yeah. I'll probably have hoodies and high tops till I'm 90. I'll be that guy that's like 70 years old. He's like, why is he wearing that? He's too old to wear that. And I'll be like, shut up, I'm wearing it.
Got you.
Like, no. But that's my thing. So I did Miles Morales. I've done regular Spider-Man. As you can tell, I've always been a Spider-Man fan. That was my first favorite superhero.
Got you. Same.
And then I also, you same too?
Favorite.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, Miles Morales or the regular Spider-Man?
Oh, well, the regular Spider-Man because he came out before the Miles Morales version.
Definitely.
Because the wittiness, it was just amazing.
The wittiness and the fact that, I always looked at like Spider-Man, Peter Parker is kind of black. Like, you know what I mean? Because,
explain.
Well, because the fact is that, he grew up in the hood.
His daddy got shot,
died.
died.
Uncle Ben, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying, he lived a life of, he's like the one superhero that had like a life of adversity. Like, you know what I mean? He's already got like, chips against him. He's in the Bronx. I believe that's where he's from. Either the Bronx. No. Yeah, I think it's the Bronx. And no, Queens. I think it's Queens.
Okay, I think.
But you know what I mean. But I should know this. I'm such a fan. But at the same time, like he, just low budget. He's not rich. He's not all powerful. He's got superpowers, but he's still touchable. Like I always talk about, I love the fact that you watch a Spider-Man movie or Spider-Man really get down, like his suit's all messed up, he's bleeding, he's touchable still.
Yeah.
And the fact that, and he's not even making money from this, but his whole moniker, great power comes great responsibility, taught me so much as a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the fact of, and that's coming from a person that's not Tony Stark, where it's like, and trust me, I have no problem with all the other superheroes, but it's not Tony Stark where, dude, you're a billionaire, philanthropist, all that stuff like that. And it's just like, with great power comes great responsibility. It's easy for you to say because you know where your next meal's coming from. Like, you know what I mean? This dude is a struggling photographer. Peter Parker's a struggling photographer, bro. Out of high school.
Who's very smart.
Yeah, exactly. Very smart, but he's still like, he started this as a high schooler, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you got the powers. You feel like, yo, I could do whatever I want. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can at least get back at this bully that's been bullying me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And it's just like, he's just the epitome of dope, man. And it's just like, it's just, I just really always felt like I could resonate with that character more than all the others. And then to hear how Stan Lee talked about it, like, you know what I mean, is that, even the coming to Miles Morales is the fact that anybody could put on the suit, anybody could put on the mask, like, you know what I mean? And he talked about Stan Lee talked about even when making this character, they was like, nah, that's a bad idea. Nobody likes spiders. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would they want a Spider-Man? Like, you know what I mean? And that, oh, no, he's got too much opposition. He's got too many problems. Nobody wants the problem. They want him to be super, larger than life. And, of course, that resonates with black people because black people always feel like, oh, nobody likes us or, oh, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, can achieve the greatness, have achieved great things in America, like, you know what I'm saying, and continue to achieve great things. So the thing is that Spider-Man kind of symbolizes like the black struggle in a sense, more than a lot of other characters.
And he was always chasing Mary Jane.
100%, always with the Mary Jane. He always had Mary Jane on deck, like, you know what I mean. So it's awesome. So it's like in certain instances, that's why some people are like, yo, one of your favorite superheroes ain't Black Panther. I can relate to Spider-Man more.
What?
Like,
they just assumed we just wanted to put you in that box. There's that box again.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is,
you don't like Johnny Cage, or was it Johnny Cage? Sorry, the Bullet guy.
The Punisher?
No, who also from like New York, black guy who can go through bullets.
Oh, Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. I said Johnny Cage.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, bro. Because like, look, I mean, if you look at it, T'Challa is an African king, like, that he got money and vibranium. That don't relate to my, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I've ever been to Africa once. Like,
that part. I don't even have the accent, nothing.
Nothing. So, that wouldn't relate to me as much. But to be a kid from a city and just trying to make it and trying to utilize the talents that I have to do something positive, I can relate to Spider-Man.
I like that. Yeah, I fuck with Spider-Man. I always really used to love the spider sense too. Spider sense is tingling. Yo, I fucking love that. That's so hard.
That's awesome. That's what give him the hands right there.
Yeah, man, I fucking love that so much. Going back to like hip hop and nerd culture, who would you say, I guess nowadays or even back, hip hop artists that you think would fit into the nerd culture?
Of course, like Wu-Tang from and specifically RZA and Method Man. Like, I could say DMC because they had a comic and all that stuff like that. But like, who embrace it also is what people. The funny thing about it is, coming from the West Coast culture, Snoop embraces the nerd culture, man. I think him and his son just about to come out with Death Row Games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Snoop is all weaved into the nerd culture, man. And like, he does soundtracks for games and all that stuff like that, man. It's like it's only a matter of time for there's a Snoop Dogg anime.
He's a good businessman. I gotta give it to Snoop. Yeah, he's got his business.
50. Like, you know what I mean? He delves, like, I mean, he doesn't embrace nerd culture as much as he utilizes nerd culture. And, like, he had a video game. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened to the anime that was supposed to come out right after the pandemic that he was part of. I don't know if you knew about that, but, yo, bro, the artwork was tremendous. I forgot the name of it. See, that's what they're doing. They're trying to make us forget. But I seen the artwork of this, and it was so awesome. Hopefully, anybody that watches this can, know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, comment down below.
Research it.
Yeah.
But it's super dope. But I feel like in so many mediums, there's so many people that are like Eminem, like, was a gamer. And also, dude, he just did a performance on Fortnite. Like, you know what I mean? Like Travis Scott did. Travis Scott was another one. Megan Thee Stallion is an avid, like, have I said that right? Ampid. I don't know. But avid, lover of anime and stuff like that. She even talk about it in her raps. Like, you know what I mean? everybody's kind of catching the wave in some form or
Gotcha.
another. And like I said, it's only a matter of time before it really truly hits. I feel like once the West Coast embraces it a little bit more,
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap.
You know what it made me think of after I asked you the question you started answering? There was a game that Def Jam came out called Def Jam, I think Vendetta,
Oh yeah.
with the wrestling, with all the hip hop. That shit was dope.
Yeah.
It's making me think about that.
That's throwback. I love that one.
Yeah.
That was pretty dope back in the day.
Russell Simmons was definitely a smart man.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you hosted, or the culture, Nerds and Hip Hop Culture, hosted a fashion show, and there's going to be one coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
Right? Can you talk to us a little bit about why you guys decided to do this fashion show? Will there be more in the future coming up, and what to expect at these fashion shows?
Definitely, it's more the same. It's more of like, allowing people a medium or a platform to showcase their talents and their individuality. Some of the best ways to do that, and some of the best ways to showcase the nerd and hip hop culture, is through fashion. You know what I mean? We see a lot of nerd and hip hop culture through fashion. Like you see, like I got on a Tachi hoodie right now. I'm not right now. That's the epitome of nerd and hip hop culture. Like, you know what I mean? Because I could wear a regular hoodie and people just be like, okay, you look like a rapper or something like that. But the fact that I'm wearing a Kotsky beanie, a Tachi hoodie, like boom, right there. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it speaks
people
for
that
itself.
exactly. So people that are making this stuff, man, they might even have like a Tupac shirt that they made, and like pants that are that they fashioned themselves, shoes that have either a rapper or anime or a comic character on it that they created themselves. I even got a guy that will be at the next fashion show. He makes Spider-Man Wu-Tang clothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Basically,
Dope.
Spider-Man with wearing a Wu-Tang shirt. He got the Wu-Tang brass knuckles on, and all kind of stuff like that, man. You can see the heavy nerd and hip-hop influence in their clothing and with their with the merch that they made.
Dope.
So the dopest thing is that we go ahead and showcase this and allow some models to come through, and that are just kind of starting out, and help fill their portfolio with something dope. We set up this place to really look really like lit and red carpeted and all that stuff like that. So it really becomes a thing for the community that not just the nerds and hip hop community, but the community that I live in. If you're into this stuff, to have a platform and also a place to just be like, yo, this is lit. I'm happy to just be here.
Yeah.
Like, because they didn't have any of this stuff when I was a teenager. Like, I'm saying, none of it.
True.
Like, I mean, it's very, very, like, Moreno Valley could use a little bit more of its own culture. Yeah,
I got you. And can people who are cosplaying also be part of this fashion show as well, or is it just mostly like designers that are doing it?
It's designers, but at the same time, cosplay is embraced. Like, if somebody came cosplayed, I believe one of the last fashion shows we did, people came cosplayed. And then also cosplay was we added it as a portion of the actual fashion show in itself, because some people came that had a fashion and it was from their own comic book. Like, they made their own shirts and hoodies. And then I was just like, let's go a step further. And how about one of your characters, you have a cosplay design, and they walk too.
Dope.
And that actually happened.
Dope.
And it was amazing. And I did it with my characters as well. So.
I think I've seen some pictures of that with you as General Josh.
Yeah.
That was
people
dope.
as Akila, who's another character from the comic.
And you've been doing this nerds and hip hop culture for like about 3 to 4 years now, going on 5?
Yeah, about 4 to 5.
What have you learned? What are some of the most important things you've learned since you've been doing this?
I've learned a very important lesson is that when you start something and you're pushing in it and you're passionate about it, sometimes you can't expect everybody to be passionate the way that you are. And, you gotta jump over some of those hurdles of hurt, like, because, excuse me, but I'm not crying, but
Got you.
allergies. But sometimes you got to jump over those hurdles of hurt, and because okay, when you do something and then it's kind of push toward Black culture, and and it's not even push, like you enjoy the fact, like what I mean, it's the fact of the Black and Black culture loves it and everything like that. You might think like, okay, unity, everybody that looks like me is going to embrace this, and it's like, nah, it may not happen that way. Like what I mean,
Not even
sometimes,
close. Yeah.
yeah, what I mean, and it's just sometimes you will think that will be for you might be against you, like and it's like I pretty much, to sum it up in a sense, is to say I learned that you know if God puts on my heart to do something and I start doing it, that don't mean everybody's gonna to jail to it the way that I think that they should in my head, or that it seems like it would make sense. You gotta push sometimes alone, and then people come with you. Like the fact of you're not a leader. Like people say, oh, you're not a leader if nobody follows you or something like that. Nah, that's a lie. You gotta, as a leader, push forward if nobody gonna follow you, and then you allow the people to fall suit, and then they follow you after they see kind of where you going. Sometimes you don't just start out with people like, yo, we backing you,
Yeah,
like
we
all the
fuck with
time.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, like what I mean, it can become that way, and if you're blessed to have that, cool. But sometimes you gotta just go out on faith and pure grit and push, and then some people come. So it's learning that is very big, and then also everybody that backs you don't always look like you, like what I'm saying, and
Probably majority.
sometimes, man, like and it's just like understanding that, but still having love in your heart, like what I mean. It's like I love who I am. I love who I became in the journey. I love my people. I love Black culture and everything like that. And I want to make sure that people know that, what I mean, I always love my people. But even if you have issues within the framework of what you're doing with your people, that does not mean that you just turn your back and say, like, it doesn't give you the okay to say, well, my stuff ain't for this people, or my stuff ain't for that people. Nah, man, like, you put it out there, and whoever gravitates to what you make is who gravitates to what you make. But at the same
Yeah.
time, you don't care. I don't want to ever carry a hurt feeling to where I don't support or show love to my people or other people who would resonate with what I do.
Period.
Cause it's a thing of beauty. Like I mean, what I'm doing and creating is bigger than me. God put it on my heart to do, to share with the world. Like I mean, so I'm not a type of person that succumbs to what everybody think I should do and think I should be. Like what I mean.
Yeah, because that's their opinion. How are they gonna tell you what you should be when that's their opinion? They don't know your story. They don't live your life.
Yeah.
And to double down on like starting off with followers, it's like people don't have, and we talked about this earlier, like you're bestowed with the vision, so you have to act, not you specifically, but just saying it, right? In general, like you have to act on your vision clearly enough and strong enough so that way people can finally catch up and say, oh, I get it. I get it now. Because people are not going to understand what you're doing. You have to kind of like be doing it for a while and pushing and making it work. And then people are like, okay, I get it now. Now I can get on board. I get it now. Because they're not going to see it. And you have to believe in yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It can feel lonely at times. That could be a lonely feeling.
That's life. That's life. You want a tissue?
Nah, I'm pretty good.
You good?
Yeah, it's just a little flimmy.
Gotcha. Yeah. Just wanted to ask if you want. I got some tissues over there, or some napkins over there if you wanted some.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, man. Try to make it as comfortable as possible as I can. Wish I had some agua para tu, but next time. Obviously, and I keep mentioning the name. The brand name is Nerdz Hip Hop, right? So, Nerdz surpasses hip hop. Not just joking. What is your nerd trait or traits?
My nerd. I have so many nerddums, man. Like it's like.
What's the term, nerdum? Nerdums?
I say nerdum. Like
okay.
It's kind of like a fandom. But,
okay.
You put the nerdum in front of it. Like my first nerdum would be, of course, gaming.
Okay.
Like I mean, that's I've been gaming since the first Nintendo. Bro.
Gotcha. What game are you fucking with right now?
Right now, I haven't been playing as such. I
Okay.
have to kind of let it go because just for right
Time.
now, because I'm working, I'm constantly working on things. Like, know this. This is how much I love General Joshua and Nerds and Hip Hop, is that I put down gaming for a little bit for y'all. Know that. That's serious. That's love right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the next game I want to play, like I missed a few on PS5. I haven't got my PS5 yet.
Okay.
So I want to. That's the next system that I'll be having, and I just got to catch up once I get it. Like I got to play like newest God of War. I got to play Spider-Man 2.
I heard great things about Spider-Man 2.
Bro, I've heard nothing but insanely good things about it. It's just frustrating. You know, there's a long list of games that I want to play. So, you know, but for right now, I'm just like I gotta stay focused.
Got you.
So
So gaming's one of your nerdums.
yeah, big nerdum. Like it. I could go on all day about
Got
it,
you.
but and then also I don't know if you've seen the preview or trailer for GTA 6.
I've been hearing great things about that.
Yeah, it's not coming out to 2025, but Lord have mercy, bro. Like
What a franchise.
yeah,
What a
yeah.
franchise.
Just know that we'll probably be having that GTA for the next 5 years.
Gotcha.
5 or 6,
I'm just
maybe
thinking
10.
about GTA with like the Oculus. Like how amazing that would be.
Oh man, yeah. They're probably gonna. I mean, honestly, they're Rockstar Games is the creators that make it, and dude, they do not play about advancement. So honestly, the next 10 years, I don't know what they're gonna come out with, but like so I'll be ready.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Unless they do that thing where you got to get like a chip in your head to see the game.
Gotcha.
Good. Like that Black Mirror stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
When gaming gets there, I'm going to be a retro gamer.
Gotcha. Like, I'm still playing Atari.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm not finna do none of the weird stuff that might mentally mess me up. But
Gotcha.
yeah. So gaming, of course. Movies. Super duper movie fanatic.
Okay.
Man. Oh my God, I'm a movie buff. Like,
So you consider movies as part of the nerddom category?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I would say like being a super movie head, like just like, it's because it's a fandom. You're a movie fan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I would say it's one of my nerddoms because it's something that I'll geek out about. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever you would geek out about, it's kind of nerdy.
What's the last movie you geeked on?
The last movie that I geeked on, let's say, I've been geeking on that series, the Bass Reeves series, actually. Like, that's kind of the last thing I was just really, really on. Movie as such, let's see, what was the last movie that I was watching, dude? Because I watched so many movies, it's ridiculous. What was one that came on? Because like now, I don't even go to theaters as much as I do.
Gotcha.
Watch it on like Prime.
Yeah,
like, 'cause it's like
so much access.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like insane.
If you get a chance, I'm not sure if you've probably already seen it, maybe or not, but there's a TV show on Netflix called Lupin. It's about this guy in France, I believe, and he's like a professional robber, and he bases his whole like characters off of a book that he grew up reading as a child. It's really good. I think you and your wife would enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might check that out.
Lupin. Yeah.
Lupin. I believe that's the one that's kind of made after that anime, like a French anime or something like that.
I don't know if it's made on veteran. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. There is an anime called Lupin.
Okay.
But
so movies, gaming.
Movies, gaming. Last movie I watched the last Indiana Jones movie.
Okay.
Just cause, but I've already seen it. But I watched that last night again. So it's like I said, it's movies. I watch a lot of them. But Blue Beetle before that. But also anime.
Anime. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the anime.
Super anime fan.
Yeah.
What other nerddoms? It's just the list goes on. Comics.
Okay.
Like, I have like 2 indie comics in my backpack right now. I still gotta read. Like, you know what I mean? It's just nonstop. Like,
Gotcha,
it's all over the place with it.
Gotcha. And you grew up, and I'm pretty sure hip hop's still part of your heart and your soul. You said you used to freestyle a lot and things like that. So, Josh, if I kick a beat right now, would you bless us all with a freestyle?
You wouldn't even need a beat. Like I could rap a little bit. it's probably gonna sound mad old school,
But
I do. I gotta do a few rhymes.
got you. So, but if I kick a beat, would you freestyle for us?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah?
freestyle for you. But like I said, I'm better without a beat because a beat might throw me off a little bit. So I just kind of like spoken word it. But if you want to put on the beat, we'll see what happens.
I gotta hit the beat.
You gotta hit the beat? Okay.
Is it cool? Freestyle session commence.
Okay. Yeah. Yo. So why he beatbox? Kinda like U-Haul. People be like, Josh, man, you're too raw. Like Monday night, like, I don't know, a seesaw. I just keep on spitting and I get more eat raw. I mean, like, dog, you see how I be getting it. I be spitting since so much, I be starting to splitting it. And Earth the kitten it, a boy is old. I be spitting it so good. People like, that's gold. But then I go from gold to diamond. Every time I'm rhyming, yo, it's so designing. People be like, yo, this man really got it. I be like, yeah, check your pocket. This boy shoot off like a rocket. I never stop it. I keep on doing what I'm doing cause you people like it. I'm like something you keep with you. I do keep on spitting and I don't even know I speak rhythm. Yo, so let's go ahead and take it from the top. I keep on making hip hop through my top scotch. Yo, I'm top notch. I don't even know, man. I keep on spitting until the paint blotch. Yeah, they call me Top Gun. I spit, y'all start to run. The freestyle king has become the number one. My kingdom will never fall. It's freedom. Yo, it's freedom, y'all don't see it. Y'all be spitting and sometimes I be like, I don't see it. Y'all cats need to preview your own type of raps because it's terrible, it's trash. Throw it in the back. This boy spit from the top. There's so mustache off the lips. I'm apocalypse. I won't crash. And that's a word to, I don't know, X-Men. I keep on spitting and splitting your next man. Your best friend will probably say that I win if we ever have a type of competition. No, I'm just saying. I know that's terrible. Haven't freestyled in years.
We liked it. Thank you, Josh.
Yo, my man.
Yeah.
Man.
X-Men. Fuck yeah. Love it. I love hip hop, love freestyle, man. Thank you for sharing with us.
All day.
And I always feel like it's just beautiful and love going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, what was I gonna say? Yes. So, and I'm not really that much into like the nerd hip hop, the nerd culture, cosplay culture, but I always think it's like, and please help me. And you're obviously married. So do you think, and maybe you can probably know from other people, is the dating scene difficult being in the nerd culture? Like, can someone find other dates in the nerd culture? Can you date someone and then kind of like assimilate them into the nerd culture? What's your thoughts on that?
One of the dope things about the nerd culture and like, blerd culture and all that stuff like that is when you get in these creative spaces, you get to find like minds, like, people that you could have a lot in common with, and attraction only falls into that. Like, so there's people there was a couple that found each other on my page.
Cool.
They told me that they did, and like, they really got serious about each other and all that stuff like that. And I thought that was awesome, like, because it's like that. Like, what I mean? Now, the things is that you got to be, of course, paying attention to, though, is people that are doing certain things for vain reasons, or like, they might be trying to find love on there to just exploit it a little bit. Like, like let's find love, and then with somebody that's a super dope cosplayer, and then throw them under the bus once they're done.
Damn.
You never know what people sometimes with their agenda
Their
is.
intentions,
but
yeah.
you definitely got to pay attention to things and see where it fits. But most of the time when I see love in the nerd and blerd cultures, it's dope. Like, it's really dope. It's a beautiful thing. Like, you know, there's a couple that is a cosplay couple that I know on there, man. And I'm just like, it's awesome. They come up with these awesome videos. It's so genuine because I knew them both before. Like, they kind of came together.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I see it. And I'm like, yo, y'all are my favorite couple. Like, you know what I mean?
Dope.
Because it's awesome, man. It's a really awesome thing to come together with somebody that has like interest in mind.
Very agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think I saw something that you guys posted, which I thought was kind of cool. It's like, you know, what to do at a comic convention.
Oh, yeah.
So can you give us a couple of tips for people who may not know what to do at a comic convention?
Well, the exact thing was what to do when you have a significant other that's not also into comics and comic conventions and stuff, because my wife isn't as into all this as I am. And so the advice was finding what her interests are. My wife loves business. She loves, like, you know what I mean, a startup business. She's an entrepreneur at heart. She loves things like that. And so what I said was have her focus on him or her, if whoever you're with, like if they're not into comics like you are and you're at Comic-Con, have them focus on stuff like, look at the people's setup, like how did they make that, like, you know what I mean, like how much was it that they paid for the space and how much do they regularly earn? Like, go ask them questions, go talk to them, like, you know what I mean, stuff like that. And you know, kind of a form of understanding where your mind is. And like, you know, other things is such as, you know, like when you get them involved, tell them a little bit more about a character. And if you know that you know their personality, like, you know what characters might mesh with them. Like, I mean, like, let's say my wife, for instance, like I said, I gave her a comic. I had her come to a comic event with me, and there was this funny comic by Mia Bunn, and it resonated with my wife. She loves to laugh, so it resonated with her. She bought it. She likes it and everything like that. So, you know, kind of things that you know will resonate to point her to that table. Like, hey, babe, I know you may not like all this, but I know you'll like that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's so many different ways of kind of helping to create fans of what you do, especially like, you know, with your significant other. Like, me and my wife are always joined at the hip. We're always somewhere together. So it's like it makes my life easier when she kind of likes what I like, and I can help her like it, because I've always been trying to help push her into my nerddums. Like, dude, I had her watch all the Star Wars. I had her watch all the Indiana Joneses. Like, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that I used to watch as a kid. You know what I mean? From Rocky, where all the Rockies to all the Creeds. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is a super dope franchise, by the way. I love it. But you know, it's stuff like that.
I got you.
Yeah.
Dope. You know, and it made me think, and I was thinking about this earlier, that what do you think the possibility, or what do you think about this concept of growing Nerds and Hip Hop event to a place where it can go to like the Orange Show down the street in San Bernardino, fill up a place like that where you have like live hip hop artists performing, big fashion shows, like all in the same day, like a 3-day event.
Bro, let me tell you. Here, we'll do this. Ask me what my end game for Nerds and Hip Hop is.
Is there an end game?
Oh, there's an end game. My end game for Nerds and Hip Hop is events with a Comic-Con meets Coachella vibe. That's what I want. That what you said right now was exact. It's like you read my mind.
Got you.
I've been talking
I'm there.
about it. Yes, you are in the future with me right now.
Got you.
We hopped in the DeLorean. We went past 88 miles per hour, and we are there right now.
Boom.
So let me walk you through it. So the Comic-Con meets Coachella vibe, if anybody's ever been to Coachella, you know, there's different people performing, you know what I mean? You have that going on. I want the dopest of dope nerdcore rappers to rock that stage. And then other rappers, mostly like I'm not that big in the trap, and it doesn't really fit into it. But unless you can make it nerdcore, or, you know, backpack rappers and everything like that, some of the cats that started all boom bap rappers really fit into the culture of nerd culture. And you know, other performers, it might be a dance team. It might be a dance team that's wearing cosplay
That'd be
up there on
dope.
stage,
That'd
like
be
you know what I
dope.
mean. And then you go down the stage, you know what I mean. And it's lit with vendors that are just spectacular. These cats are handpicked. Nobody's setup is whack. It's really lit, like you know what I mean. So that's what you're seeing there. And then you might see different tents. Different tents, and you're like, yo, what's in the tents? Let's go in the tents real quick. Inside of the tents, you have gaming contests. You know what I mean?
Smash Brothers competition or something.
100%. Inside another tent, it might be nothing but large screen TVs airing the latest anime episode of the dopest anime out. Like, you know what I mean? You might have tent that has people that do the card playing games. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Like, you know, some stuff like that. And then just by chance, you know, you have lines to some of the dopest food ever, but you know, some of it has anime ties to it. Like it might be drinks, but you know, it's an Incredible Hawk drink. It's like a Luffy freaking lollipop. I don't know, but it's all
I'm thinking like a Pikachu cookie and shit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's freaking it's anime themed, like you know what I mean. And it's just straight like and the dopeness ensues. Like if you give me like 5 more minutes, I'll come up with like 5 more concepts. But it's all there.
Gotcha.
And the fashion show, like you know what I mean. Like the fashion show is part of it. Like you know, just of course the art walk, but like and while there isn't a performance, some of the dopest music you've ever heard played. Like, you know what I mean? A DJ battle where they're scratching and mixing some of the dopest anime themes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I'm with it.
Like,
I'm with it.
Are you there? We there?
I mentioned it. You said I was there. I was there.
We're there.
I'm
We're
there.
man.
Can't wait to see it in the future. I can't wait to see it in fruition, like touch it and see it and smell it.
Me too.
I can't wait. I look forward to it. And Josh, let's talk about General Josh.
Okay.
Right? His comic book, by the way, folks. Is there some of you inside of that? Because the name, obviously, Joshua. Is there some of you that's in this, or is this your alter ego a little bit in this? Can you talk to us a little bit about the comic book?
Yeah, definitely. I love talking about this because based upon the fact that I love writing and I love like different type of metaphors and stuff. That's how I did as a rapper, different metaphors. But the thing with General Joshua is that I took direct inspiration from Joshua, the Bible, like from Joshua and Revelations. Yeah, you know what I mean? It was
The guy who finished taking people to the promised land.
exactly. So there's that aspect of Joshua. Then there's the fact of he becomes the general, like you know what I mean, the general of the last army on earth. So he's General Joshua. And then the fact that some of his issues, like his anger issues, the fact that he doesn't care about a lot of things, like you know what I mean, he's kind of what would you say, not just cold-hearted, but desensitized in this world. But a lot of us are like that. So everybody is generally like Joshua. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's General Joshua. So the thing is, so it's a lot of little small meanings to it that make a big meaning. But the character in itself, he does have some of my issues. Like I said, he's totally a different person. His name isn't even Joshua in there. It's old preacher gave him this name, like you know what I mean, because based on some of his actions, he was like, oh, well, you remind me of Joshua. And it's a nickname that kind of stuck with him. But his name is actually Thomas Moses. You know what I mean? So
Interesting. And he's Joshua.
Yeah, so he's given that nickname, but the fact is that, you know, the comic itself is not for the faint of heart. Because like sometimes I'll mention the Bible references and people will be like, oh, so, okay, so it's like, you know, it's a Bible comic. And it's like, not per se. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the opposite of what Spawn is, in the sense of where Spawn is Hell's soldier, Joshua is God's soldier. But it's like the book of Joshua is a very bloody book, and the book of Revelation is a very unknown, scary book. These elements are put into this comic because General Joshua is a very gritty, violent book because it's about war. It's about the whole book is about that I've created is about war, and it's like what happens when the last world war on Earth meets the last heaven and hell war in the spiritual, like you're saying.
Got you.
So
Simultaneously.
exactly. So it looks crazy. It looks like that's why I refer to it like Book of Eli, or like something like that, like Supernatural, or that movie Legion, like what I
Okay.
mean. Like it's very like that, like what I mean. But it's like like I said, it's so much about war, but also with Joshua, a man that's violent. Like he's an MMA fighter. He's really for himself.
Okay.
But at the
He's
same
kneeing people
time,
in the face and shit.
yeah, he's
Okay.
he's like, he's very for himself, because if you see his backstory, he kind of had to be like at a young age. He was sent to a group home with his brother, and he was like his own little brother's only saving grace. His brother has a really good heart, and he's a fighter too. But at the same time, he's not a fighter like Joshua's. Joshua's
Gotcha.
really just like no holds bar. Like you say something I don't like, I'm smashing your face. Like
Got
I
you.
mean, and the thing is that he only cares to lead his brother. Like, I mean? He doesn't care about leading anybody else. But the thing is that when the world turns, and like, so you get to see his regular life, but when the world turns, he is called upon to be this leader of the last free people on earth against the New World Order. And he is given powers by the Archangel Michael to help do that. But he's like, yeah, sure, I'll take that. But he really is going to use it to get vengeance for the things that he's experienced. And I can't give away what he experienced. But he's very vengeful, and he utilizes that. So he, in essence, believes that he's like tricking God and this angel, and he's like very violent in usage of his powers. But at the same time, it's the things that he goes through and learns will at some point his destiny will be to go through this, because his purpose is to be a leader, a general of these last people. And the thing about what people don't understand is when you're purpose driven and you have a God-given purpose, that mug will chase you. It'll chase you down. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're out there in these streets, you're selling drugs, you're doing the most wildest of things, you're fighting, or whatever the case may be. You've been to jail like 8 times, whatever. Your purpose will hunt you down.
Period.
Bring you to your knees, and you will become what you were supposed to be. But the coldest and funnest thing about that is you'll love it once it happens. Like I'm saying, because the beat down and everything for you is so that you'll learn to embrace it. But it was in you since it was in you when you were first put here. Like, what I mean? It was in him to be a leader. Everything that he went through negative was to make him be strong enough to deal with what he's going to have to deal with. But he doesn't want to have to. Like, what I mean? But dude is a total badass. I based his character off of Vegeta and Riddick from Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah, like what I mean, Vin Diesel's character, and like the bad guy and the world leader is comedy. I based his character, loosely based his character off of if you ever seen American Psycho. Patrick Bateman is the guy that plays Batman from Christian Bale. Yeah, like I mean, his character in American Psycho. It's the thing with World Leader is that he can say anything he wants, and it translates as what you want to hear. If he's like, "Yo, I hate your shirt," like you're a piece of shit, he can say that to you, and you heard, "Yo, you're gonna be the next millionaire. I'm gonna give you $1,000 in a minute and help you with whatever you got going on." And so you're like, "Really? You just said that to me?" Like he really, like he embodies that, and it's dangerous because he can form armies with like a single sentence. Like,
Gotcha. It's like power of manipulation and suggestion.
Exactly.
I love it. Yeah, let's not give too much else away, right?
Okay, cool.
You guys have to get it, and if you guys want to do that. My other 2 questions, I guess, related to the book is, and I'm almost certain you probably thought about this. Thoughts about making it into an anime, and number 2 is it just one comic book, or is there like a series?
Oh yeah, it's a series.
Talk to me.
I want to do this series literally for like the rest of my life in different ways. The same way Tom McFarlane did Spawn, I would like in the same sense to do General Joshua, because it's like you'll have you have the first comic, which is a long comic because it's like 70 pages long because I really wanted to do a origin story that you could sink your teeth into so that you can really feel once the character finally gets his powers. I want people to feel it, like, you know what I mean. There's so many times like we'll look at a story where, you know, like these are some of my favorites though, don't get it twisted. Spider-Man loses Peter Parker loses Uncle Ben, Bruce Wayne loses
parents.
Martha Wayne, and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
all that. And the fact is that, you know, you have no real attachment. Like, you just kind of like, damn, he loves Spider-Man. Okay, so that's why he became Batman. Cool. But the thing is, I wanted people to have attachment to this character. But as we continue on, like, it goes from what you would perceive as normal in the first book, like kind of like, okay, it's semi-normal, his way of life. We all could kind of know somebody that's kind of Joshua-esque. That's General Joshua.
Yeah.
But the rest of the books, you're thrown into this saga of a war that is on the rise. That is just like, you can feel the intensity in the book. Like, in the book, my friend was like, yo, it seems like everybody's yelling. It just like, you know what I mean? And I wrote it that way because it's the energy in this world right now. We're all so sensitive. We're all so angry with it. I mean, I can say the slightest thing to somebody and they're set off, bro.
They're triggered.
Yeah, they're triggered.
Yeah.
We made a word for it.
There's a word.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Triggered.
Everybody's triggered. They're mad. They're on edge, and like I made that way with the dialogue and all that is because it's even worse right before it's like, you know, about to be what it's going to become. And, you know, I really wanted to give that because it's like now, like, you know what I mean? It's like now a lot of it is like we have a lot of petty differences in the world, like what religion you are, what your ethnicity is, what sex, are you gay, are you straight, are you trans, are you this, are you da. But
are you Republican, Democrat?
Exactly. But when a threat hits the world that's big enough to impact all of us equally, do we rise? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or do we make little factions where we're over here and this person's over here? What does that look like? Like, you know what I mean? But I honestly feel like we'll all kind of need each other. Like, you know what I mean? And maybe not immediately go to that, but after you see how it is, it's kind of like, I tell people a lot of times where I'm going with this, like Walking Dead. You see a lot of different factions, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, with
I'm
what
with
is his
you.
name? Yeah, like, you know, Negan's group and this group. But what is it comprised of? A gang of people from different walks of life, because
coming together.
Yeah, at the end, like, all you can do is gather with survivors. You ain't gonna be able to, hey man, are you gay? You a survivor? Are you gay? I don't know. Oh wait, are you black?
That you're focusing on?
Yeah, are you white? And you gonna be a survivor with me? Like, you ain't finna do all that. You
Ain't got
finna
time for
gather
that.
whoever you can
Yeah.
to get some of these missions done so you can fucking survive.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And people don't really pay attention to that until it gets there. Like, right now, people are tripping over some of the craziest things to me.
True.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
what it reminded me of, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
you're
off,
good.
was that Katrina, like a real life situation. When Katrina happened and it was flooding, no one was caring like what you look like, or people were helping each other get off rooftops, trying to get out, you know, to safe places. That's what immediately made me think about, like, when a natural disaster or man-made disaster, however you want to look at it, happens, people come together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, first, because our number one thing within our bodies is always survival.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But it's like also once duty and purpose hits, like, you know what I'm saying?
Duty.
That's another thing. Like, you know what I mean? And you know, it's like the world. It's like I really love doing this book because it hits on so many different cylinders. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I want people to understand, but, like, you know, it's not. Yes, it's at world end. It has a lot to do with God and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, I believe in God and everything like that. But I'm not writing this book to make you believe what I believe. Like, you know what I mean? My thing is when you're reading this book, you actually can just, you know, derive from it that having purpose, or your purpose in life will find you. Like, you know what I'm
Period.
saying? Straight up. And it's deep. And it's like sometimes when you think life doesn't make sense or everything like that, or oh, why is this always happening to me? Or why is this sometimes it is literally, yeah, you can put yourself in bad predicaments. You're like, why is this happening to me? You steal. Like, why are you in jail? You need to stop stealing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you sometimes like, why do I be going through this? Or why do I battle? Sometimes it's direct preparation for who you are called to be, bro. Straight up. Like, straight up.
Yeah. And one big, I guess we could say, I can't think, theme for our show today with Joshua is purpose. That's definitely been our big theme today for our show. Joshua, what is one thing that you're willing to share that most people don't know about you, even close people? What's one thing that people wouldn't know about you?
One thing that's not clear that people don't see, because you can't see with the naked eye, is that I struggled with anxiety for a very long time. And I mean, it got really bad to the point to where they diagnosed me with depersonalization, derealization, PTSD, everything like that. And for the life of me, I couldn't understand why. Like, I was just like, I'm the type of person that, you know what I mean? I don't succumb to that. Like, I've always put myself out there to do whatever I had to do. Like, you know what I mean? Whether I didn't want to, or I was scared or whatever, it's like push past it. But there I am having panic attacks. Like, you know what I mean? Like crazy panic attacks, like bad ones, man. I'm talking about, there was one where I had some every night when I wake up for like a year straight. And it got dark for me because I was just like, this is crazy. Like, I'm waking up like shaking and just all kind of stuff. But it impacted me in a way of understanding. Like, you know what I mean? Because they wanted to put me on meds, and I was just like, no. Like, you know what I mean? And so some people was like, I'm not like, trying to shit on anybody that take meds and all that stuff, because it's a serious thing. It's very hard, very hard to deal with. But they told me that meds wouldn't cure it. It would only help me cope.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm coping right now, motherfucker. What you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? What you mean? Yeah, I'm coping right now. So I was like, yo, how can I do this better? And I went into holistic medicine and really started focusing on my health, my strength. And when I started doing that, I got closer to God. I got closer, more mental clarity. I started really like delving into my health, spiritually, mentally. Like, really, it started making me clean everything out of me that wasn't like, I started drinking less, because I was drinking all the time to counteract these panic attacks and everything like that. But I was like, nah, if it came a certain way, I can cure it. And while I was doing that, it worked on me. It worked on me as a person, bro, like in ways that I can't even describe at times. But it started me on a journey to become more positive, strong-minded, and in essence, got me to help get me to be where I needed to be a better leader. If not in my own household, but the people I talked to, I was less fidgety, less angry. Like, because the thing is that sometimes anxiety shows up in different ways. It's not always shake, shake, shake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like I'm scared. The very fact that you get anxious could make you angry. It used to make me very angry and intolerant, because I feel fidgety. I feel a little on edge, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But if you're like irritating me, it's like, yo, get the hell away. Like, you know what I mean? But when I started working on it and started dialing back, I became so much more at peace. Even when I'm talking to somebody, I'm way more at peace, way chill. And that made me have more meaningful relationships. Like, you know what I mean? So basically, in essence, dealing with that started me on the path to become the leader that I would be. And you know what I mean? And the personality that I would need to really, really talk to people, really, really be more solid in my relationships. And that's what I mean. Like, even when I say with General Joshua, such as the path that you take, sometimes you're like, I could never see how I will be this or that. And then sometimes things in your life, like the way it structures or comes together, it makes you who you were meant to be.
True.
Period.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hopefully
Thanks
that was
for...
a super long
No, it was good. It was perfect. I think it helped a lot, right, guys?
I hope so.
Josh, thank you so much for being on the Empire, man.
Oh man.
Can you please tell us all what current projects you're working on?
Okay, yeah. So right now, still working on the second book of General Joshua. The first book is out. You can go on generaljoshuainc.com. So that's one word together. I mean, multiple words together, but generaljoshuainc.com, and you can get the book there, or you can go on Instagram _General Joshua _ and see everything that I'm doing on Instagram with the comic and like from the beginning stages. So there's that. Still working, like I said, still working on the second one. Also Nerdz and Hip Hop, that's the big thing that on if you type that in NERDZ ANDHIPHOP, you will find multiple things if you put that in Google search. But where I interact the most is on Instagram, and you can go on Instagram, same spelling, like I said, NERDZ. You'll see the blue Nerdz and Hip Hop pop up. With Nerdz and Hip Hop right now, we're really concentrating on, like I said, those monthly last Friday of the month venues that we do. And you could just jump onto the page, follow, and be part of the community. Like I said, I don't have followers. I call it community, because if you're doing something that's within the passion of what I'm doing and others on the page, I will follow you back and probably shout you out and welcome you to come to any event that we have if you're in the Inland Empire or plan to be in the Inland Empire anytime soon.
Dope. Josh, let's say 100 years pass by, 200 years pass by, a millennia passes by. What would you like your empire to look like, whether it's in hip hop, nerdum, comic book writing, family? What would you like your empire to look like a millennia from now?
A millennia from now, I would hope the same way that Walt Disney inspires people to be kids and go into their inner child and all that stuff like that, I would hope that the empire of General Joshua and Nerdz and Hip Hop inspires people to seek and live in their purpose. I promise you that's what I want. And whatever that looks like, that's cool. But I would love that through way of, like I said, Comic-Con meets Coachella events with Nerdz and Hip Hop, because Nerdz and Hip Hop is a vibe. And you'll see if you come to the events, it's a vibe. And I just want the vibe to get bigger and to touch as many people as it can and inspire you to go find what your purpose is and live in it. I know what mine is, and I know what that looks like. And I got to tell you, that has changed my life immensely. It makes me a happier person. As far as with General Joshua, I hope to inspire many also with that book, and also the series is just so dope that people want to make a video game out of it, plus an anime. And I'm gonna work very, very hard to make sure General Joshua is one of the best-selling comic books that there is and ever was, because I believe that it has very big significance and can help people in life. But at the same time, it's a really cool read and a really dope character to and characters to rock and pay attention to.
Awesome. Beautiful empire. Purpose again, right? Everything's about purpose. I love it. Joshua, thank you so much for being on the Empire, man. Can you please tell everybody where they can find you, support you, get the comic book? I know we mentioned it, but can you just let everybody know again where they can find you, support you, and all those good things?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said again, like just check out Nerdz and Hip Hop on Instagram, NERDZ and Hip Hop, and you guys can go ahead and check that out. Check out that page. follow up. If you're in the Inland Empire, everything that I'm posting that we're doing applies to you. And will definitely, if you like what you heard me talk about or you like what you see when you go there, please tap in with us. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you might think, yo, okay, he's got a lot of followers, he's got some things going on, he doesn't need us. Nah, we need you because you need to be there in order to help get around people that will positively push you towards your purpose. And we also have some decent resources to help you, you know, if you want to start tabling and doing some dope things. So there's that. As far as General Joshua, like I said, General Joshua is one word together. General Joshua, INC.com is where you will find the book and you're able to purchase it. But also, like, if you just want to follow the movement, Instagram _ General Joshua _ and on Instagram, you can check us out there. We also have TikTok underneath the same thing. Take away the underscores, General Joshua, and you will see some more of the rise of what we're doing.
Awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll have all the links in the description box, so you guys can just click on it, follow him that way, make it nice and easy for you guys.
Oh, dope.
And I want to thank Josh. I want to thank all you guys for listening, watching, however you guys did it. We learned a lot today. You know, how he started off doing art, hip hop, but left because of politics of making him sound like Babyface or something. He didn't want to sound like Babyface, you know. You know, so, but we learned, how he even got into this world was because his girl at the time told him to start an ebook, and then he came out with the comic book instead, and it just connected to a community of people who liked hip hop and nerd culture, and it just grew up. And the big theme of today with Joshua Brown is purpose. So ladies and gentlemen, please search for your purpose. You might already know it and be scared of it, but just go for it. Even if it's little step day by day, as the old saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. So just step by step, go for your purpose. Maybe you might not know, but there might be something that you enjoy doing. Then do that. I believe that a saying that I came up with is that your happiness is not guaranteed. Your misery is, though. So you have to pursue your happiness because this world puts misery in our lives. So pursue your happiness, okay? Which I think is coinciding with your purpose. But other than that, I want to thank you guys again. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. My name's Antonio Lee Miles, your host. If you guys want to support us, you can do any of our digital means, which are in the description: CASHAPP, VENMO, PayPal, etc., Patreon, even my personal newsletter. You guys can do all that, which is in the description. Again, I want to thank Josh. And boom, da-da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Other than that, we will catch you guys in the next episode. All right? Peace. I say it's my duty. Yeah. Is it my will? Yeah. To do what? Yeah. To do is right. I say.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dougie.
That was awesome.
It was good?
Heck yeah, definitely.